Good morning, all. Time for us to get to work. It looks like Brent's printer has stopped. Looks like printer 2 is kind of just hanging, being. Yep. Brent, looks like your printer stopped. Or the feed has stopped, one of the two. Anyway, Colton's joining us. Incoming, Colton. Do I need to reboot the Ender 2 is printing? Well, that's what I mean. I thought I was watching Ender 2 over here. All right, time for us to build an intersection. We're actually not. We're going to do something else. We're going to build a curb for its curb appeal.
Curb.
Need a refresh. Okay. I'll have to figure that out here.
Brent.
Brent's printer. Boom. There we go. Yep. I can just bump it. That's cool. Kick butt. Okay, we don't have tunes. We need tunes because we're actually broadcasting. So Brent, last night we had some kind of bizarre crash where all of a sudden everything just stopped, and then I rebooted into the system automatically. So I came back into the system, and everybody came back on, and we all sat there and chatted and talked, and it was like an 11:50 when Colton went, "Are we even broadcasting?" And I went,
I realized that. Yep.
No. And apparently we dropped off stream at 1 hour in at that crash, and I had no idea. So, how you doing, bro?
Me or Brent?
You.
I'm all right. This OBS thing's pissing me off, but yeah.
Because you can't find the drivers. Or did you check your drivers, by the way?
So I put off the newest update for like months now, and I was finally like, oh cool, let's just do it. They should have fixed everything by now. It's been like 3 or 4 months.
Right.
Well, OBS 28, which is out now, doesn't support the OBS phone app. So I have to figure out how to get that working again, so I can use my phone for screen pick, like for using it as a camera. So, or figure out how to get rid of OBS and start up as the 27 again. Because then it would work again, but I'm still trying to figure that part out. And that was what I was doing this morning.
That's fair.
Hello. There we go.
There you go.
Now, a few other things are updating right now, so my system's kind of like, what are you doing? Why?
Brent had a failed print on Ender 1.
On the one that you were doing last night?
Well, that one's up in the upper right-hand corner. It looks like it's still going just fine.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, it looks like it's still going, unless this is recording.
No.
Did his thing go on loop? I know. I was making a joke due to yesterday. Did his thing go on loop?
Right. Okay. No, she left without saying goodbye. The bummer.
The wife?
Yep.
She just ran.
Right? Totally just, she's over me. It's over. It's over.
It's over. That's hard to believe, but all right.
Nah, she has a 9 o'clock meeting, and you know what? You could do this logically. She has a 9 o'clock meeting, and it's got her freaked out because she doesn't want to be late, and she hates being late, and it stresses her out.
Right.
So
I get that.
So yeah, it's actually perfectly in character for her to forget to say goodbye because she's she's like,
no, I get it. I'm one of those people too, where they're like, "Why didn't you do this every day?" I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I've literally been thinking about that one thing, and that's all I care about right now.
Yep.
Okay.
It makes total sense. It's the thing about living with someone for many, many, many moons. You get to the point where you really do just know all their idiosyncrasies. And also, she's not by default one of those super romantic, touchy-feely sort of people, and I am. And so she runs a program for me.
She runs a program.
Like, she has the Guy program, which she has to run to go, oh yeah, I've got to remember to go over and give Guy a hug and kiss him on the cheek and say goodbye. This is the Guy program. And she runs it so that I don't feel abandoned, but she doesn't need it. And so she doesn't think about it.
Right.
She's in stressed out mode. Which is totally fine. I appreciate that she has a program for me. You know what I mean? Like that means a lot.
Mm-hmm. That's weird. So you were... Do you know if Streamlabs works the same way as OBS?
No. Streamlabs is like Restream.
So I need OBS to run Streamlabs.
You don't, but I mean,
I'm just wondering. It just popped up, and I was like, could I go this route if I had to?
You couldn't use Streamlabs with Restream.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be definitely not a thing that works.
Right.
Well, let's do this a different way. Because it's kind of difficult to kind of say this, or to kind of explain it, but Streamlabs is a rebroadcasting for linking to all of your streams, just like Restream is. So if you were using Streamlabs, then wait a minute, are you saying, Brent, is there a onboard Streamlabs? Is that what we're talking about here? So because Brent's saying that it's a knockoff of OBS.
Yeah, he's not. It's Streamlabs OBS is what they advertise it as, so it would make sense that that's what he's saying.
Okay,
well, that makes a lot of sense.
I use Streamlabs for Geek Tank.
Oh,
but we use Streamlabs rebroadcaster software, which is just effectively Restream with a funny and more expensive and less useful. So I prefer Restream. Besides, I've been with Restream long enough now that they actually know the team knows me because I've been one of their early on StreamYard. That's what it is. Just something totally
nice. That's kind of cool.
They know me enough that whenever I start getting problems and stuff like that, they tend to come in and fix it quickly.
It's like, wait, what's going on?
Right.
No, that's cool. Look at you having connections.
Yeah, well, I've been with these guys since their very beginning.
Nice.
So it's not like it's that amazing, but I was one of their first streamers.
Right.
And I've been with them for like 3 years now. And for a long time, I was at their $50 a month level.
Oh, wow.
So that's the thing. But Brent is saying that I'm thinking of a different thing. So he's probably right. Would not, in fact, be the first time that I have ever done that. So, yeah, no. I am much more likely to... I need 1, 2, 3 more.
I'm just going to have to actually sit down one day and just try and figure it out. And that's always the hardest part for me right now.
I agree.
Because I also, like, I found out yesterday on my way home from work, I have a nail in my tire for my bike, so I have to go figure that out sometime. I need to not replace the clutch, but just do a clutch rebuild.
Yeah.
Which, literally, if I have the right people with me, it's only going to take a day. But that just adds into more time that I don't have.
You don't have.
And that's literally where I'm at right now. And it's actually kind of funny that I say it, because me and my friend were literally talking about that kind of concept yesterday. Because we were talking about, he was talking about to his wife, he's like, if we were they live in California, he's like, if we were rolling around in a lot, I would buy, because his wife doesn't like driving, so he's the only one in the family that drives. He drives their daughter to school, drives her to work, picks her up from work, gets the kid home from work, you know. And he was saying, if we were rolling in the dough, I think we should hire a personal driver that drives us around and like during these times and whatnot. And like, why would we even do that? Blah, blah, blah. And it was like, and I told him, it was like exactly the reasoning why I would do it too. It saves me time. I could focus on other things while you're driving, you know?
Yeah.
But like, I said that, he's like, that's exactly why I would do it too. It's like, I wouldn't be the only one driving. I could actually focus on my stuff.
Yep. Yeah, well.
And not having to stop every minute of like, when I'm finally like in the mode to do something, next thing you notice, oh. But we're not rolling in that kind of money. If we were though, I would definitely keep trying to push it. Because she just refuses to drive. He's like, she knows how to drive, she just refuses to drive. I'm like, oh, you got one of those. He's like, yeah.
Well, and I mean, I guess it depends on that one. I love driving. That's why I make a good driver.
Well, he said he never said that he doesn't like driving. It's more he's the one that gets, anytime driving gets involved, he's the one that the family drops it on.
I understand.
And he's just it gets old after a while.
I'm not saying that. I was heading a different direction.
Oh, okay, go for it.
Which was that my wife does the same thing. She's a spacey driver, and so she knows it. And so she prefers for me to drive, but she will always drive, you know, if I can't for whatever reason. But it always turns out to be convenient for me to drive. You know what I mean? Like it turns out to be, and frankly, less.
Right.
Because she is a space cadet, and she does drive me absolutely bonkers. And I love her to the end of the earth, the absolute end of the earth. But yeah, absolutely terrifying sometimes.
I get that.
So it's a thing. It all depends on how you look at things.
And we both, like, me and my friend were talking about it. Like, we both get that concept as well. It's just more that, like, you don't always want to be the only person doing everything in something like that. When you're like, you clearly know the person can do it. And like, there's days like when you're like, I would like to sit at home. Like, he works from home. He's like, there are days where I would like to just sit at home and like get my work done finally and not have to go and then just come back. Or like the days that you and me are having this conversation, I'm not the one running around, like having to cut our conversation short just because my wife doesn't want to drive and I have to go pick her up. I'm like, I get that too. There are definitely ups and downs to this. I get it.
Yeah.
Like, it's more the like, it really kind of bounces into like it's personal time and whatnot, but also at the same time, like I was telling him, was like, when you start hitting that kind of money and you're like those kind of business owners or something like that, a lot of people don't realize the reason why they do have those like personal drivers and that is because it's not because that they can afford it. One, yes, they can, but two, a lot of it is it's all about time saving. They do it to save time so they can put it towards other stuff or put it towards family time, so they're not like swamped with work the whole time. They can get stuff done while they're like being a driver or whatnot, and be able to hang out with their family on days that they were able to, or be able to like get all their stuff done. It literally just becomes time saving. That's all it really becomes into.
Oh yeah. And that is definitely the thing.
Like the bottom line, that's what it was. And it's just funny because he's like, yeah, she just doesn't understand that concept. I'm like, I get that. A lot of people don't understand those concepts until you actually get put in those scenarios.
Yeah. If he feels like he is the personal driver, though, it's definitely something that needs to be addressed before the problem in their relationship. Because that's one of those.
For him, that's his. That's become the sacrifice in his relationship. He's like, that's one of my gives and takes. Like, I don't. He's like, I like driving, but it's LA.
Oh, that's brutal.
And he's just like, it's LA traffic, and it does get old after a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's LA traffic, and there's no way that you can find that to be fun. Even I don't like LA traffic. And
he's like, I enjoy driving, but it is LA. And I'm like, I get that.
Yeah, that is definitely a thing. It's like,
and that's kind of why I think that's why he's just like,
yeah, it was like I never drove in Tokyo, and it's
you never drove in Tokyo?
Nope. We always took the train because if we took my car, we'd never be able to park it, even though it did have the yellow plates, which means that I could get a good parking spot. K cars, if they're because they're fuel efficient and emissions light, K cars have specialized plates, so you can park in special parking spaces, and you can go into special places, and you can get onto the special places on the freeway and stuff like that.
But you can't park in Tokyo?
No, it's just really hard to park in Tokyo. I mean,
it's just hard. Okay. I'm on the same page now.
Yeah, it's stupid expensive. It's just one of those. Yeah, you could certainly park in Tokyo. It's just I don't know.
It just sounded like when you said that, like I just could never park in Tokyo. Like I was like, is parking in Tokyo hard?
Driving is a pain in the butt. Well, it's like going downtown. I mean, yeah, you can park downtown, but I hope you have like $12 in quarters in your pocket.
Right.
Same thing.
Depending on how long you're going to be down there, yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing. That's all. It's not. There's nothing weird about parking in Tokyo. It's just.
Oh, okay. That's what I was wondering. I was like, we took a taxi in Tokyo just for fun. And it was actually kind of cool.
It's not nothing.
It was cool because like the doors opened and everything, and like it was one of the first things like I wanted. Yeah, they were.
I love it when they wear gloves. That cracks me up.
The white gloves treatment. Yeah. Well, and that was right before. That's right when they found out about the Olympics was going to happen there and all this stuff. So like, the guy specifically was like, "Oh, you want to go there? We're going to detour while we do this." And we're like, "Okay." It's like, there's where the Olympics are going to happen. And I was like, that's actually kind of cool. I forgot that was happening here.
Right by a frickin' school. Did you see that? I was like, that school's going to be a mess. I'm glad I'm not teaching at that school. That was the first thought that was in my brain. I'm like, oh.
Glad it's not my school.
Glad it's not my school.
But yeah, it was kind of cool. Like, so he specifically altered his route to like give us a treatment, which I thought was the coolest.
That is pretty cool.
And he didn't speak that much English either, so he literally was like, he was trying to push in for, make sure these foreigners get like something out of this, you know? And I was like, wow, you're really doing this out of like, that was the part that I really like. Like a lot of people that are in their industries, like legit do their industries in Japan. And it's so cool. I like your music choice for today.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah. So
Very cybery.
Yeah, my compatriot for today's consulate meeting just bowed out, and I'm like, you okay? So
she's supposed to. What time's your meeting at?
6. It's a dinner.
Oh,
it is a. I got an invitation with a gold seal, with the seal of Japan on it in gold. I mean, it's not gold; it's gold ink, obviously, but still gold. You know, you are cordially invited. You know, please dress appropriately. Yada yada yada. I'm like, have you met me?
That's pretty cool.
It is awesome.
But now your compatriot left. Did she
so
send him a message?
It's a squadron. They're taking a squadron of us. There's 6 of us that are going. Now there are 5 of us, but one of them was going. He lives in Wyoming, and he was going to drive to my house because I'm in Arvada, and then we were going to carpool to Aurora, which is where the director lives, and then we were going to carpool with her, so we'd all be in the same car so that we could prep beforehand.
Oh, never mind.
So
I was going to tell him, if your compatriots bowed out, you should have been like, does this mean I get to wear the spacesuit?
Right? Can I wear my Starfleet uniform now? No, because the head director is going to be there, and she will kill me a lot if I put.
I just think it'd be funny if you said that. It's like, so since you're not coming, does that mean I get to wear the spacesuit now?
Right? Spacesuit. No. It's like the drone. There's been a long ongoing joke about drones because I want drones really bad, but she won't let me.
Why not?
Because flying drones inside the hotel is probably not a good idea.
Oh, you're talking about at the consort. Got it.
Yeah, she's afraid we'll behead some poor kid.
I thought you were meaning
at the consulate?
I thought you were talking about the wife.
Oh no,
the wife was not. I was like, no drones. My
con wife.
She says no.
She's the wife of the con. Although I'm definitely not a husband of the con, so there's that.
Right.
But yeah, no, she's the boss.
Yep. I know who you're talking about.
It's been the ongoing joke between her and us about drones because we all want drones, and she won't let us have drones. So this is like the ongoing. Can I have a drone? No. Can I have a drone? No. Yeah.
How about now? No?
How about now?
Okay.
Can I have a drone now?
I'll ask you tomorrow. I'll ask again tomorrow.
Right? It's like the ongoing joke. And what's so funny is the head of the archive he joined in, and because he was really into the idea and everything was cool. And I told him about this last con, and so he starts going up to her and going, "Can we have a drone for the archive?" She's like, "You've been talking to Guy?" And he's like, "Oh, maybe." And she's like, "No for him. It's no for you."
That's hilarious.
So this is like, no, I'm not wearing a kilt. I've got nice slacks. She told me I had to wear slacks. Actually, she did not say I could not wear a kilt. But she strongly implied that this is a formal and we don't want to make the Japanese consulate think we were weird.
Right.
She knows we are weird. And there's nothing we could do about that. However, the less weird, the better. In her mind's eye. Because
she's like, I don't want the consult to think that we're all just a bunch of otakus, and like, but we are
weirdos. We are weirdos. That's what she said. She talked to me. I talked to her yesterday because I went to the post office to see how much it weighs to send something, because I don't even know how much postage to buy.
Oh, you're talking about, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Okay.
So I was talking to her on the way. I'm free associating. That has nothing to do with the story at all. Sorry. But yeah, I was talking to her while doing that, and she's like, here's what you should expect. We will go there, we'll make our introductions, and we will sit at dinner, and then after dinner we will likely watch some anime, because that's what our convention is. And be prepared that the consulate general probably has never seen this anime and probably hasn't actually watched anime since he was a child, which was 30 years ago or 40 years ago. So he will be there and uncomfortably not understand any of it. And but he's doing it to olive branch to us. And I'm like, well, you know what? We could do without the anime then. But you know, we have to follow protocol.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's because it's fine. I don't mind. I doubt it's going to be an anime I'm into. I mean, it's likely not going to.
You're not going to show him Akira?
Right, it's going to be Akira. How do you explain Akira to people? Because Akira is so, you know,
cult classic. That's all I gotta say.
I love Akira to the end of the earth, but it's still Akira.
Oh yeah, no. It's definitely one of those. It's a generational thing too.
Yeah. It totally
is one of those ones that I was. Who was it? One of my friends I was talking to. I think it was you actually. We were talking about it. It was like it's a very history. It's a history piece too.
Mm-hmm.
For Japan's timeline.
Yeah.
John, you have weird eyes. Why?
You know what really bothers me? When you use the lens of a camera to catch somebody looking at the camera, but because of the lens that you use in the camera, the person's eyes are towed out like this. And so they don't line up. Because they're looking at the camera, but the camera's focal point is further back than... And so you end up with them looking like they're like... And you're like, oh, dude, that's so freaky. You know?
Their eyes look all, yeah.
Cattywampus. And you're like, ugh.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that because, like, the fisheye effect?
Yeah, it depends on your lens on the camera.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I can make it happen. If you ever want me to show you it, I literally have the lenses for it in my camera set. So I could definitely give you a tour of creepy, weird eyeball thing.
Creepy.
Well, I gotta admit, that's good and bad that my compatriot is not going to be here. It's good in I have like 12 jobs I want to do before tomorrow. Oh no, really? Oh man. So the Goodyear blimp used to be stationed on 1960 and I-45 in Texas. 1960 is FM 1960 is a road, but since like the 30s, businesses started building up at I-45 in 1960, and so 1960 became its own town without it being a town. It technically belongs to one of the towns, but nobody ever calls it that. They just say we're going to 1960 because that's the road. And there's a whole bunch of stuff there, but yeah. The Goodyear blimp used to have a hangar just north of 1960, and we would drive down to see at the time my great grandparents were alive, but they were in a home on 1960, and so we would drive down to see them in the home, and I loved it on the days that they'd hold out the blimp. And the blimp was like sitting out there idling. And I'm like, that is a monster. I love that thing. And of course, me being me, it's a machine, and I just can't not love machines, And so I just sat there and ogled it every time. This is, I don't know if you're reading the chat, but Brent was saying that the blimp just...
Yeah, I saw the Goodyear blimp. Yeah, no, I did. That's why since you switched to blimps, I'm like, what? And I looked over, I'm like, oh, Brent saw the blimp.
Brent is blimping. Brent, stop blimping. Eat less pizza.
Eat less.
Well, I only say that because I've got pizza downstairs for lunch. So, kind of, really, honestly. Kind of have pizza. That's where I am. Anyway.
Brent used to live in Colorado, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I swear I've met Brent in person. That's why I'm like, that's
probably. Yeah. I mean, on the one hand, I love that Brent's here all the time. On the other hand, it's not an organic lead, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Weird. Okay.
I mean, he's been to the conventions and that. I'm like, I've had to met him. That's why I was like, this one.
Yep. I was like, what do you expect from me tonight at the consulate? And she was like, oh, I just expect you to talk about your time in Japan and tell them about your prefecture that you lived in, and whatever fits your fancy is fine. Just She was like, I just want to have somebody talking besides the two of us, referring to her and her husband. And she was like, that's, carrying the conversation by yourself sucks. So we picked people who would carry the conversation, and have reason to talk.
Right.
Which I was like, that makes sense. Like, I have a reason to. She's like, and you've been in Japan, so it's.
Yeah.
You've got something to talk about.
Which is always good.
Yep. I'm good with that. That's why I'm there. But it does completely and totally freak me out. Because, I'm like, are you going to stick me with, actual, real, schmoozing with important people? You sure it's
right. That is funny. That is true, though. I get that. I totally get that.
Yeah, because I'm just a random artist, and I have by nature, artists are kind of people who buck the system.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not notorious for being prim and proper socialites to begin with, because we're artists. That doesn't mean that I won't, but I'm not wearing a suit. There is no freaking way. I would just feel like I would feel so out of place if someone made me wear a suit.
I don't know. I'm a person that likes wearing suits, so
yeah. But you also, that's the thing. That's the whole thing, is you wear suits. you wear ties and you like wearing suits.
I like dressing up. It's fun.
You like dressing up. I don't. And so it just
Yeah.
makes me remarkably uncomfortable. And
Mhm.
I feel like a fish out of water, and therefore I look like a fish out of water, you know?
Yeah, no, I get that.
If you're comfortable in a suit, wear a suit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There's
No, I
nothing wrong
totally
with that.
understand. I understand. I was just like, but I'm also one of those people that actually likes wearing suits, so I totally get where you're coming from. Of like, I don't.
Well,
I
that's,
don't want this. Like,
Yeah.
that's fair.
like, you know.
But at the same time, like the opportunity that you're getting right now is really cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm wearing a button-up shirt, which is nice. But yeah, Brent's right. I mean, part of this is that if it was given my druthers, I'd dress up by wearing my kilt and, you know, and stuff like that, and I'd be like, yeah, you know.
Just having fun with it. Yeah. I've noticed that. I don't know if this is true, but like a lot of people I know that don't like dressing up. Usually if you can involve like a kilt or something that's not the formal of like suit and tie, they're all for it.
Yeah, much happier.
I was like, I get it. It's something that's out of the norm that they're like, nope, totally different. I can make this work. Oh, okay. If we try a different,
And that's the thing. It's like it depends,
right?
you know, like
Some texture.
it really also boils down to who are you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
You can wear a suit and tie and it just looks gorgeous on you and you look great and everything's fine.
Oh, thank
You know what I mean? But because it makes me uncomfortable, I look silly.
Because
know?
you
It doesn't
feel
look right.
silly. Yeah,
Right. I feel silly, therefore I look silly. Because
I get that one.
that's not my style. So it's not a matter of, I'm sure I would look great in a suit. But because I'm uncomfortable, it's like Tarzan in a suit. You know what I mean? It's the moment you do it, he looks fine, except that he's uncomfortable.
He feels weird. Yeah.
He feels weird. And so, yeah.
I mean, that's with a lot of things, though. It's that if you don't feel like you're... Like, there's a lot of people, like, they pull off some crazy things in the world. Like, some clothes, I'm just like, I don't know how you did that, but... Also, it's usually because of confidence. They just have that confidence, like, yep, we're doing this. You know? And they can pull it off.
It's one of the driving commentaries that I've got for my comic, which is, you know, it's all about how you feel. Like, the characters are going to be talking to each other in the shower, completely naked. But they don't care. That's not a thing that's a problem for them.
Locker room style is normal.
Right? But we've got men and women in the showers together, just chatting and everything like that. It's one of my favorite scenes from whatever that movie was, Aliens 3, that should have been Aliens 3 but wasn't. Starship Troopers.
Oh yeah, where they're just no, I love that part too.
That's totally what I envision. Is that they just get in the shower and they're cleaning up, and while they're cleaning up, they're talking about what happened today at work, and nobody gives it a second thought. It's not something that they're worried about, you know.
And if it's anything that has to do outside of the bathroom, like they take it outside the bathroom. It's not
Right.
hey,
you don't do that in
we
the
can't do
bathroom,
this.
right?
Yeah.
And that is the one thing that I think, if anything, is one of the...
I love Starship Troopers. They did a lot of good stuff in that show.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that it's nothing like the good points in the book, Heinlein had a different... They didn't get to the point of the book.
Oh, really?
That's the only reason that I didn't like it. Was that...
I always forget that it was a book.
Well, and if you watch it like it's Aliens 3, you know, the next Aliens movie or whatever, it's an awesome Aliens movie.
Right.
Yeah, the problem is that I actually liked Starship Troopers, the book, and was looking forward to the movie, but they missed. And it's because it's a political statement. There's a lot of politics that was being stated, and they
Oh
kind of got to it with the commercials, be a citizen and things. But the whole point of the book was service grants you citizenship.
Yep.
And that was the whole point. And Rico, the main character, didn't want to join the military, but he then did because he needed citizenship.
Yep.
And what it was a sidelong discussion about the culture that we have, whereby you are an indentured servant to the culture, because in order to have any status in the United States, you need to go to college and pay $1 billion and go through all this crap and then work for free. And effectively, you have to be an indentured servant on the capitalistic system for a long period of time in order to earn your citizenship.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the entire book's argument, which was fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
And interesting and intriguing, but also they missed it entirely. That was the statement.
They went for the comical aspect, I feel.
Right. They went to see if they could. Well, no, they just wanted to kill Bugs.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. It became the comical side of the movie, of what it is literally it's B-rate horror.
Yeah.
B-rate sci-fi horror. That's literally what they.
And
I personally think that's what they really pushed it towards, and that's what it definitely hits that market.
It did, and it did just fine. And it's not a bad movie. And looking at it as an adult, it has scenes that I like. Like I said, the shower scene is still one of my absolute favorites, because that is for reasons that are different than everybody else for why it's their absolute favorite. But for me, that shower scene is exactly what I've been looking for in Bellatrix Rising. That exact thing. It's just the culture. Nobody cares anymore. Bodies are bodies.
Right.
It's not weird or freaky or whatever.
Oh, you're naked? Cool.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. It's like, and I did that with this latest comic just a little bit. I managed to get in there just a hair on that one, because you can't tell, because I was very subtle about it. But yeah,
I remember you showing something, and it was like a nude scene, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. That's tasteful."
Yep.
Weren't you working on like a nude scene for Bellatrix like a week ago?
Well, I am, but that's in the extended version, or that's in the Omake, which is the extra story piece.
Okay.
So
I remember seeing you working on something like that. I was like, wait a second, hold on.
They're naked.
There was a naked piece you were working on. I remember seeing it.
All right. I don't want to do this. Can't. Want to do that. But yeah, it's.
Oh, this explains so much now with this brush, because I'm using a different brush, which is good. That adds texture, but.
My biggest problem is I'm afraid to put nudity in my stories. I'm afraid that people will freak out and say we can't sell them at stores or whatever,
If you do it tasteful, it's fine.
I know. It's never going. Well, and that's the thing. It's never going to be not tasteful.
Right. Dude, today and tomorrow is going to be amazing. The weather.
Yeah, I was just saying that to Kai. The child that I'm not supposed to stay online. And I keep forgetting. I'm glad my wife's not
Demon
here,
Spawn.
because she's been so mad at me for getting on her for that, and then I screw up, and she's like, "You did it too." Arr!
I love you.
Right?
Love you. Bye.
I was totally. I was talking to the child about that,
Mm-hmm.
and was talking about how, it's going to be cold, because he wasn't prepped for it naturally. Because why would you do that?
I mean, you're not used to it. That's for sure.
Yeah. Goofy kiddo. I love him though. He's weird, but I love him. Anyway, but I have my sliding doors open, the fans on, all the ACs are off. I'm so excited. Like, I don't have any other noise in here, because my AC is really loud. I have a little AC unit, portable AC unit.
I fell asleep with my fan on last night, and I had the window open, and then this morning I was like, "Oh, this feels amazing."
It's so cool, so good.
Like, it's so cool. It's not this usual, like, and also just because, like, the AC doesn't really get into my room. It's weird. Like, my room just runs warm. Like, I had a friend over, and they're like, your room's so hot. I'm like, yeah, the AC doesn't really get up here. And they're like, that sucks. I'm like, yeah, you get used to it. You know.
Rain there, you're getting the same thing we've got heading your way, which is not the first time that's ever occurred.
Oh, weather-wise, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always call my mom, because my mom's in Utah. I always call my mom in Utah. I was like, how's the weather yesterday? She's like, oh, it's gonna rain. I'm like, oh, cool. A friend over, huh, Colton?
A friend.
Yes, a friend.
What the heck is going on?
Take that how you want, Brent. But yes, a friend.
You can do that if you want. I'm good. I don't know. Yeah, drawing border. Okay,
You're an adult. It's fine.
You're a big boy. You do whatever you need to do, man. You are not drawing.
That's my response to a lot of people now. And there's like, should I? I'm like, you're an adult. You got this. And there's like, and I'm like, I don't know why you're looking for my approval.
Yeah, it's like, just do it, dude.
It's your body. I should not be the one telling you how to use it or what to do with it.
What the heck is going on?
I don't know. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get it to outline, and it won't outline. That's really weird.
You on the wrong layer?
That's what I thought at first, but I'm not.
Huh. That's all I could think of when you said that. I was like, maybe you're on the wrong layer or setting? I don't know.
I've double checked my layers. Yeah, see, I say draw, and it's clearly not putting any black lines down anywhere. Not even really microscopic black lines. I don't know what the heck's going on. Huh? No? I'll try this the other way.
Excuse me. Oh, are you doing panel layouts?
This is a sidewalk.
Oh. Never mind.
sidewalk. So, did you see my cars? You saw my cars.
You're doing the animation, yeah. I forgot
I'm
about
gonna do a
that.
little
Totally said
animation.
that.
Here are my cars. All my cars are ready. They're the Bad C group, apparently. Who knew?
I mean, true, Brent. You're not wrong. The second opinion is nice.
Right.
I mean, usually after I give my first opinion and they keep trying to ask for another one, that's when I usually kind of just lean into that one. I'm like, nope, it's on you now because I already gave you an opinion. You didn't want to listen.
Right.
Which does happen quite often.
Oh, by the way, we didn't get to show Brent my cars even have cool license plates.
Oh yeah, they're from Texas.
No, they're not. Those are Colorado. Uber.
I had to.
Texas plates are actually boring as hell.
I know, they're just white and black.
Yeah. I liked when they had the sesquicentennial plates, but those were, that was a long ass time ago. Long enough ago that my grandparents had them on their car. That's a long ass time ago.
Finish rendering the snows. We'll just keep moving along. So, since you're going to that thing tonight, so that means your wife gets the house to herself?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, she was invited originally. The problem is she gets off work at 6:30, so there's no way she could make it to Denver, then, to downtown Denver by 6.
Oh, is it at the temple?
No, it says private residence, but...
Oh. That's cool.
It's still, not like, right next to it's not easy to get to.
Right.
It is pretty decent.
I get that.
No, the temple, Sakura Square, is probably one of the topics we're going to talk about, though. All the renovations and stuff like that are going on at Sakura Square.
Oh, is there a lot of renovations going on?
Yep. At some point, they're going to nuke that tower and get around to it. Yeah, they've been talking about
the tower, as in
the apartments. Yeah,
I thought people live in those.
They do. They will ultimately make them move out, as usual.
That sucks.
Well, it depends. They're going to put in better.
Oh, they're going to remodel
it, yeah. But
I mean, that kind of needs to happen.
Yeah, it does.
I have a friend that used to live there, and she told me it's... Yeah, but I mean, how many people have come in and out of that place? I had a friend that lived there, and she was telling me that it's really not that ideal for living anymore.
That's part of the problem, is that
it's been just let go.
It isn't ideal. It's
she's like, it was cool living living above Sakura Square and being able to go downstairs and just go get stuff that I wanted. But
yeah, go to H Mart whenever you wanted.
The convenience side was awesome, but past that, she said the same thing that I was kind of saying. the living situations there are definitely not as ideal as they should.
No, they're not, and
They've been neglected.
it's not just it's been neglected, but it's it's old. It's old.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been.
Yep. So did you get on the Sakura Square community after the whole manga Tyson stuff or no?
Mm-mm.
I wasn't sure. I can't remember if you.
Well, we still do manga Tyson. We just.
Yeah. Well, I just remember like with how much you were within the Japanese community. I thought you might have joined in a way, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, not really. I mean, not that I'm not, but I'm tied into the community for different reasons.
Right.
I am definitely embedded in the Japanese community here, and there's no question about that.
Right.
But I mean, that has a lot more to do with where I worked and, the fact that I know Japanese culture, and it's the reason why I'm going to the consulate tonight, as a matter of fact.
Right.
I'm not likely to make a faux pas at dinner of all the directors because I know what...
You know how to act with actual people from Japan.
Yeah.
I get that.
Not being a complete idiot. I can be an incomplete idiot instead. Aw, man. All that work.
What'd you do?
Oh, I just trying to outline this. I'm just manually outlining it because it's easier. And I did the entire scroll all the way up to find out that I had set my color to the same color as the background instead of the line.
Nice.
I was like, wasn't that big of a deal. It was just man.
This is not going to go as well as I want it to. Drop this back.
I like that texture on the skin, his cheek.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
thank you. I like it because also like when you do this, it actually looks like skin a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looks like pores when you pull it out. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Bergen. Brintal.
No.
Yes. What?
Picked up the entire picture and walked off with it. And I was like, no.
Oh no.
You know, when you mean to grab the space bar and instead you grab some other tool.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it's like, okay, well then we will just select the picture and draw and walk off with it. Yeah.
Come back.
Yeah. Let's not do that and say we did, okay? Moving sidewalks, I don't see under my feet. Something. Well, I don't know.
I like it. I wonder. Okay, a little too much. Let's bring that down. Let's do bus flow.
There we go. Got ourselves a little sidewalk there. See, parked by the sidewalk there. It's even got the little crosswalk bumper because we want it to be pretty accurate to the crosswalks when we get to the crosswalks. And I got a little bit of a lip there so I can show how far you need to be whenever you park next to the curb. Having all kinds of fun with this stuff, man.
Good. Once we did too much, we'll come back in with the black to bring it back down. Flow back up. Nice. All right. It's looking like hair.
Well, that's neither here nor there. Yeah. Not rotate, please. There we go. Okay, Colton. There you go. All 4 cars get to the intersection at the same time. Which car goes first?
C.
Right? Exactly.
I mean, it really depends on who was the first one there and which one's the right
That's
one.
why I said they all get there at the exact same time.
All of them leave at the exact same time, too.
Right, that's exactly the way. That's what I tell them. I say you go out, get out of your car, get the bear out of the trunk, put the bear in the intersection. Whoever's bear wins goes first.
See? Great way to go.
See, I'm a great teacher. I'm just saying. Don't knock my teaching skills, man.
I mean, if they're all there at the same time, that's a hard one because
it's actually the rule is courtesy.
Yeah.
Whoever waves on, they're out of the intersection. So, and then what happens at night?
Oh, flashers.
You turn off your headlights because whoever turns off their headlights is parked by law. Therefore, they are removed from the
social cue.
Yep. So,
no, I get that. Yep.
So as soon as somebody turns off their lights, they are parked, and therefore they don't need to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest car or the most cash. Oh, I'm saying that one. I'm totally stealing that one, Brett.
Person that waves $100 bill outside the window. I'm first.
Print your bank account number up on top of or just the bank account total on the hood of your car there.
What is that? What is that number? Please just.
Right. What is the bank account number again? All right.
Oh, wrong one. Wrong brush. Right layer, wrong brush.
Hands 10, looks 3. Sorry.
Let's clean up his neck a little bit for the next 40 minutes, and I will be done with this piece. At least for school.
Yeah, you might come back and fuss with it.
Oh yeah, I'm really enjoying it. That's why I'm like, I really want to keep going, but at the same time, they said 3 hours. I calculated everything I did yesterday, plus the breaks I kind of took in between them while talking to everybody. I was like, yeah, about a 3-4 hour piece would be fine. ideal.
Yeah.
Technically, I should be done right now, but I really want to push it a little bit further. So
Makes sense.
I at least want to get the head cleaned up. That's pretty much where I'm at with that.
So many jokes, so little time.
So many dirty minds.
I can't help it. I have an inner 12-year-old. I have an outer 12-year-old too.
I was about to say, don't you also have an outer?
I mean, like, to be fair, although it's funny, my outer 12-year-old is not so likely to make that joke. That's
really
not really his style. Not yet. He hasn't hit puberty.
not yet.
So he doesn't quite know.
That's fair.
And we've been super open about all of the stuff. So his whole concept is, I'm going in about a year or two, my entire world's going to be completely taken up by girls, and I'm annoyed, and that really bothers me. You know, like he's like irritated because he thinks that like his life is going to come to a screeching halt while he spends all of his time
women
ogling women when he'd rather do other things, you know. So he's feeling somewhat beset. It's very adorable.
Even though you could be like, you could be a special case, buddy. You could be an ace, and it just doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
And we're okay with that.
That makes total sense, and all will be good. And don't worry. That's totally fine.
Right.
How you do it?
Uh-oh. Is it Scritch's time?
It's Scritch's time. Time for the Scritches.
George is here for Scritches.
George is here. Never fear, George is here.
Just for Scritches.
As usual.
Can care about less.
George is George. He is who he is.
George does George things.
Yep. Okay. Now the reason I added this was so that I could also see where the sidewalk ends. That's a good book. Because at least on this one, do new raster layer, we're gonna have to put in all of the accoutrements.
Accoutre what?
Your what hurts?
You did what with your what?
Because for the benefit of my kids, this intersection has crosswalk.
When's your presentation for this?
Tomorrow.
This week? Tomorrow? Oh, you got time.
Got time. I'm not worried.
You're good.
Oh. So B is not stopped at the actual stop bar. B, we're looking at you. B. Just saying. Actually, slightly illegal there, B.
But a cop's never going to pull you over.
Not stopping
they
at
are,
stop sign.
If they do, I'm not going to lie, it's usually because they're really bored and they just want to mess with you.
I don't have anything better to do. Yeah, but I'm not telling my kids that.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't tell him that either. I'm just saying, in just general.
Yeah, and since this is a prim and proper road, even though we don't need to do this, I'm going to do it anyway because it's a residential road. But I like talking about this anyway because, you know, it's the what does the yellow line signify? What does the white line signify?
What does the yellow line say?
Right. So, also not centered. Really?
What is the oldest student you've had so far? I'm always kind of curious about this.
In my classes?
Yeah.
I think
are they usually all the 16 to 18 years old?
I get 17-year-olds from time to time. But it's extraordinarily rare. Well, it's not extraordinarily rare, actually, because I had 2 17-year-olds in the last class. But it's rare. Usually they're 14.
I remember, well, the reason I asked that also is because I remember when I was in driving school, my teacher even said there was like an 80-year-old guy that, or 60, 80-year-old guy that always comes in just to make sure that he still remembers everything and does the test with them, that stuff all the time. She's like, yep, he's a nice guy, but yep. That's I was kind of curious on, like, how old have you
I've never had 80. I gotta admit, 80 is a little over. That's older 60? Than I usually.
He was like 60. She would exaggerate just to exaggerate.
Makes sense, but I mean, I've never had anybody old like that old.
So. Have you had anybody like 60s, 50s, or no?
No, they've all been kids. I always have kids, which is fine.
Is it fun, guy? Is it?
Really? Is it really? Like the Thor meme. Is it really? But really?
Are you watching She-Hulk at all?
Not yet. I want to.
Okay.
The feeling that it's just my kind of thing. It's funny because I have not. I would not have thought it was.
I didn't think it was either. It was just one night I saw it was on there, and you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot. It's only one episode right now. I'm like, sure. And I watched it. I enjoyed it, and now every week I come back for more because I'm like, this is definitely different, and I'm enjoying the different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
think that's the impression a lot of people are having problems with that. Like, there's a lady at my work. She's just like, I wish they would stop this. I'm like, stop what? It's like they just need to stop. I'm like, they're trying stuff different. Like, that's the whole point. But hers is more, I guess, I would consider her a more conservative mindset, and like the things that they are like bringing into like play. She's like, why?
Well, I think also if you're a lot of people who are conservative are also doing the, you know, why do they have to always be so PC and stuff, and that gets under my skin a little.
Like, one of the ones that like she brought up is like, which one was that? The Disney's Red Panda. What movie was that? That just came out not that long ago.
I don't know. I am
with red pandas.
Red pandas.
Where what was it? Turning Red.
Oh, okay.
Did you? Absolutely. You didn't. You must not have seen that one. Hold on.
That's okay.
You never watched this guy?
Nope, not yet.
Oh, okay. It's really good. It's really good. I actually enjoyed it. But it's about, how do I explain it? It's about young females going through their period time,
Aww.
but in a cartoon way of red pandas. Like the theme is red, and she's like from China, I think.
That's cute.
It's
Actually,
like she also has like a lot more stuff like on top of it, and they even, if you actually watch the documentary afterwards, it's really good because of how she talks about what really inspired her to do this movie, this show, and letting Pixar push it through so they can actually have this opportunity. And the cat and everybody that worked on it, primarily female. I thought it was amazing.
now I am actually much more interested than before. Usually, I don't, unless I know something's on there for whatever reason, I'm usually like, shrug.
I just, like, when I brought it up to her, she, like, got all, she's like, why are we talking about periods? I'm like, wouldn't you want your kids to actually understand it more before they, like, go off into the world? And she's like, well, I'm like, are you one of those parents that doesn't talk about any of this stuff?
Right? It's like,
And she's like, and I was like, okay. I mean, I'm not saying you have to, but it does kind of it started adding up on a few things. I was like, oh, okay. I think
I mean, that's one of those things that's like, it's back to what we were talking about at the beginning of the show. For me, I find it to be somewhat obnoxious that, oh, there you go. See? Now look at that. That look nice. Got like our cars sitting around the intersection here. And actually see them when they pull up to the intersection now. And
Control Z. Thank you.
So anyway, sorry.
Oh, you're good. But yeah, that was kind of like my whole concept with it. I was like, that's kind of the thing that I thought was great about it, is that it actually does kind of open up people's eyes to, this is what it is. This is kind of what you have to expect. And I think it's also really great for male role models to also watch it too, for that reason. So if they do have daughters, they kind of know what to expect when they finally are a thing,
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't, there will never be a time when the female isn't having a period. I mean, there are like super rare times, I'm sure, when women don't have periods, but it's so really, really rare.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Let's double check this. See, now we've gone into the weird chipmunk music. Or does he? And you're like, what the hell are you doing over there?
Chipmunks are back.
Stupid chipmunks. You sure you want to quit rendering? Oh my god. Imagine what would happen if you stopped rendering. General render.
General render.
General render. There we go. And that's what that looks like when you render the intersection. That actually looks pretty kick-ass.
Nice.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Turned out nice. Looks pretty solid. You can see the stop bars. Everything's good. Crosswalk's solid. Slightly stylized, which makes it kind of cool looking,
Mm-hmm.
Do something like this where it's like, all right, driving along, and here we come up on a section, And it looks like an intersection.
What do you do?
Kind of cool, yeah. Pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
Let's set this for 35 millimeters. Easier to see in a more reasonable, they look like toys sort of way, but still, the shape is correct now. I mean, it does make them look like toys, but it works.
You are just a toy.
Right? But it looks good. They're toys, but they're good-looking toys. Okay, the only problem I've got is the wheels. The wheels just vanish. So either the road needs to be a light gray, or the wheels of the car need to be a light gray, but whatever's the story, we need to fix the wheels a little bit. So I'm going to lighten up the gray.
Oh.
It still looks fine. There we go. And that way, the tires on the cars pop out a little bit better. Yeah, that looks much nicer. Fins, man. My cars have fins. I mean it.
That's good enough for me.
Yeah, pretty kick-ass. Only thing we need is a stop sign. I'll render that real quick. New general new.
General.
That's a joke we picked up from freaking How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking every time you say that, my general.
Because like that was freaking funny.
We're gonna have major
problems with this. Major problems.
Major problems.
It makes it totally like that. It's not like we're taking anything seriously. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. I just always thought when I first heard that, I was like, that is, yeah, I get it. That's me.
You're like, you know what I'm doing. You know what I'm doing. Oh, you mean whenever you saw it on the show? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When I saw it on the show, I was like, yeah. Major problems.
Yep. Yeah. I'm keeping a watchful eye on the launch status, But yeah, I mean, it will be fine. It will do whatever it does, and I'm okay with that. We're talking about the SLS now.
Is that finally shooting out or no?
No, they're gonna test it today and see if it.
There was what one like a week or two ago that's never launched because of whatever. Is that what this is? The SLS?
Yeah, that's what this is.
Oh, they're still. Oh, they still haven't launched yet. Okay.
Yeah, it has not launched yet. It will. They'll launch it. I'm just not 100% sure it won't blow up. My buddy Aaron was like, I hope it blows up without people in it. If it's gonna blow up, I hope that happens without people in it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm on the same track with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like if it's gonna blow up, let's not have people on board because that'd be brutal. Although, I mean, Blue Origin just lost a rocket, and there was nobody on board. It was just running up satellites, but it was still, like, interestingly enough, it did just fine. The capsule ejected from the exploding rocket underneath it, and the capsule came back down and landed, and all of the experiments were fine. So they got a solid, good test of the automatic emergency ejection system, which is good. Which proves one major thing. Now we don't want that. It proves the major one of the big things that I've been kind of thinking is going to happen, which is we only want 8 sides. The automatic computer controlled systems, not you. Yeah, I know.
System.
I can tell. I can tell you're listening. Thank you for listening. I live this life. I'm not sure why I live this life, but I do. Anyway, it did test that system, which would have saved a number of lives in the Challenger explosion. Would have saved nothing in Columbia, but would have saved Challenger. And so that is a big boon to the system.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing else. It was good to have that test occur.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, space is dangerous, guys. I mean, that will never be not the case. Space is a dangerous job. So, but yeah, he had said that. And I didn't respond because it was the middle of Indicate. He's like, don't ghost me because I have an unpopular opinion. And I'm like, I'm not ghosting you. Freaking busy. Super, super busy, guys. Yeah.
Right.
He's like, oh, you know. I'm like, yeah, it's Indicate weekend. I'm not talking to people. Because I think he just assumed that I'd be mad about implying that a rocket should go boom. And in reality, I'm like, no, actually, I'm with you on this one. If it's gonna go, this is the time to do it.
It's gonna go.
Right? I mean, this is the time to make things blow up, because if they're gonna blow up, better to do it without people on board.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pain in the ass, and it's irritating, and it annoys the hell out of me and everything when they blow up, but it's better to do it that way. Oh, I don't think they're ever going to.
Oh,
do
it wasn't.
Huh?
Sorry, continue. I'm going through computer files and I was in the wrong one.
Yep.
As you were saying.
All I was saying was just that. Yeah, stop sign. I think it's going to be fine. Either it'll blow up or it won't. But whatever's the story, it'll happen.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Stop sign. It looks like a stop sign, just like it should. Stop. Shrug. All right. I'll do a quick UV on this. As we don't need the important piece here is this piece right there. All other pieces of this are really just not important. See, it's got the aliens thing. This is skittering. Oh, so much skitter. Ugh.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Oh, the edge. I'm on the edge of the sign.
Sorry.
And something with you. I'm on the edge of the sign. It's not important whether this sign has anything on the edge. The edge, the edge, the edge, the edge. Who is this? Who are you? Oh, there. Yeah. I feel like if I don't do that, it'll just be weird. So I'm going to do that. Is this so difficult to remember where we were last time? swear.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You are, in fact, a cat. Yes, you. You are definitely a cat. You ever noticed that you were a cat? I didn't think so. I mean, it's not like my PC can't handle it, but you know, hey, I make it worse. Hello, Merrick. How are you today?
Oh. So far, so good. Can't get OBS to register my phone, so no video, but you at least get to see me draw.
Yeah. That's me.
There's in here that's like totally...
Good. We are putting in, I'm working on my driving school, where I do various things for the school and talking about doing animations for them, and so I'm kind of tootling along here and doing that. I probably should have clocked in on this, but didn't, which I, is all right, because when I do, my supervisor tends to look at the PowerPoint presentation I was working on as well. And so I don't want her thinking I'm clocking in and, and just going off and reading a book or whatever.
Right.
So, yeah, it's all right. It's worth it to not, for her to believe that I'm doing a good job. Even if it is a little bit of working off the clock sort of thing,
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't bother me. And I'm enjoying the hell out of this. I mean, honestly, I'm getting paid like $22 an hour or whatever, so it's not like I'm going to be paid a whole lot for doing this in the first place. It's exactly animation level. But
Right.
once I've done this, I can say I did animation for drive safe, you know,
Mm-hmm.
which actually is kind of cool.
Goes into my repertoire.
Yeah, right? I mean, it's like, so if they, this is a win-win in my book. And I can have it in my, you know, in my whatever, my portfolio. We're back to the damn dog that thinks that his life is over because his humans left him.
Oh, you got one of those.
Yeah, so he sits out there and cries all day long. There we go. Big honking stop sign.
We got one of those at my house too.
I was actually, one of the things that also I could do is I've been thinking about doing YouTube videos on all kinds of interesting things, because as a driving instructor, I have learned all kinds of bizarre crap about why we do what we do. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I remember you telling me about
like
the reason why everybody stops at, or public transportation stops at train stops.
Yes.
Railroad crossings. There we go.
Railroad crossings. Yep. The infamous 1972 bus crash.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I mean, I love that stuff. And since I've learned all of it, I'm like, you know, you guys might as well benefit from it too.
Mm-hmm.
But other things like, you know, parents a long time ago, well, or back when we were learning to drive, when I was learning to drive, we were taught to stop with our nose in line with the stop sign. You know?
Right.
And now you're not. You're supposed to stop at the stop bar, and if there's no stop bar, stop at the crosswalk. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a different thing, and that's what you were just talking about with, or well, that's what Pepper was talking about with kids last night. Was, you know, he would be so annoyed with his kid if his kid was telling him how to drive.
Right.
There we go. Now we got stop signs on all four corners. Look at us. It's like professional looking at everything. Look at that. It's like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Kick ass. Beautiful. All right. Four-way
Nice.
stop.
We got all that done before 11 o'clock. Good job.
Before 11 o'clock, all I got to do now is just build the animation. That's not going to take so long. Put all the assets. It takes freaking forever.
Yeah, you got all the assets. You got everything set, all laid out. We're all set, ready to go.
Yeah, we're ready to go. They're even not at the stop bar yet. Well, I guess B and C are not at the stop bar, but A is already at the stop bar, so we'll have to. Because, of course, the whole idea is to make videos which show, okay, if these two cars come to this, because this is the most complicated thing. What do you do in a four-way stop situation? Who goes first? What happens when you want to turn? Who does what? You know, all of these things. You know, what's the story?
Right.
And that's hard. It's really hard for kids to conceptualize it, you know? And so the point behind this was to not only make it so that you can see what's going on in the intersection, but I can put you literally in the cabin of the car and you can see out the front of the car to see that they've got their left turn signal on. Okay, they're making a left turn. Who goes first in this situation? You know, that was the whole point. So that now we can do all of these things where, you know, everybody makes some sense. And that was what I was after. Oh, they are all back from the stop bar. All right. And I get all the money from it. Well, so I mean, I guess we could kind of say that all day long. It's true, but that's not my job. My job is to teach 14, 15, and 16-year-olds what the rules of the road are and make sure that I can get the information through to them. But one of the things that I loved, or that my kids respond to, is putting scenarios up on the screen and saying, okay, what do we do here? They love that. That is a major engagement point between me and my kids. So we don't have that many of those. So I was like, dude, if we have this 3D model, you can put all the stuff in there. You can move the cars around. We can render different pictures and go, okay, here's the scenario. You're here in A, B is there, D is there, and C is over there. You know, who goes first? You know, B, you know, C's left turn signal's on. Who goes first? You know, and not just show it from this point of view, which is what all of our stuff does, but show it from inside A, which is what I'm about to do. Create new camera. I call this A car cam. A car cam. Like that. We're going to put that in car A so that it's always stuck to car A. And then I'm going to stick it inside, literally inside A. Wow! 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 Here we go. I need to fix the skew on it. It has rotated weirdly. All right. Camera. Focal length. 22. What the hell? That's not right. Nope, that's not it. It just sounded military because my ears are going bad, I guess.
Nice.
It's a private jet. Oh, God. My life is over.
Pretty bad.
Yeah. It's a thing.
Yep. Sounds like my roommate's dog. They abandoned me, even though they come home every night.
Right? It's like, so when exactly has it not? When have they not come home? You know?
Right. That's always I'm like, Mm-hmm.
There we go. Now you can see from here, we can look both ways. Look at that. This is kick butt. Boop, boop, beep, beep, boop.
All the time, Eric. All the time.
Right. It's 5:9, isn't it? The aspect ratio of televisions. George, do you need scritches? Is that why you keep coming over here? You want scritches? Come here. Come here. Come here. I'll give you scritches. We will have a George break. And I will give you scritches. Because George is George. George is my co-worker. Although, if you and I were working together, Colton, I'm not scratching your belly. Just saying.
Aww.
I know, right? Such a mean co-worker. He's purring so loud you can like hear him purring. That's 719. At least that's here. It's 11 o'clock though, so it could be somebody actually trying to get a hold of me because they know that I'm working till 11. All right. Now we can do this, and it looks just fine. Look at that. That looks great. Like straight out of the front of the car. Totally say,
I like
okay,
it.
Here's the situation. How would you handle it? You know, I love it. Looks great. Okay. Well then, I feel like I've done a good job doing my job, and I'm going to go.
Same. I gotta go to work.
I will talk to you later.
All right, buddy. Talk to you later.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Good seeing
Bye.
you.